everyone, welcome to another video by the lakeside. I hope you are doing well. It has been a quiet but very busy time around here. I've been focusing on some spring cleaning, some small home projects, and even though I haven't had a lot of time to knit or make a lot of progress on my whips, I am really enjoying knitting and I'm very inspired to get back into the swing of things. And so I thought it would be a good day to pick up my camera, share some of the podcasts that have been inspiring me, because I think lately there have been some really good ones and I really enjoy them. I thought I would share some of my favorites with you because they have been really inspiring me to just stick with my knitting and not lose interest and jump on to the next new project, which can often happen. But I've been very inspired by them and I want to share those podcasts with you. I've got some projects on my mind that I might share, some dream knitting, and I will share my knitting and even another sewing project that I've been working on, some quilting. And again, I haven't made much progress on it, but I'm really inspired and I'm actually just really enjoying the process of making right now. And so instead of being focused on how much I can get done and race to finish and see what I can podcast about or share with you my accomplishments, I'm just really enjoying the process. And I hope that you are enjoying whatever you're working on right now, because that really is the important part. And so I'm going to gather up some projects. I also have a new product that I'm launching in my shop, and I'm going to share that with you while I have all of the colors here. And I hope you just have a really cozy, wonderful day and weekend and enjoy your crafting. Before I pull out all of my knitting projects to share with you and make a huge mess, I thought I would give you a little planner update. I am still really loving my Hobonichi A5. I use the weekly spread pretty much every week, and I've been really good at keeping up with my daily journaling on all of the daily pages. I'm loving it. It is getting very chunky. I've been filling it with so many things. I'm really, really enjoying this process. I also updated my cover this week, or I just swapped it out. This is my Galen Leather Undyed Zip Around Folio. I'm not sure if that's the official name for it, but I used this last year. I love it. I used to bring it outside with me and I sunbathed it a little bit so it would develop this really beautiful color and patina. I even rolled it a little bit, and that's that wrinkling effect you see, and I just love it. So I think I just needed a bit of a refresh for the season, and even though I loved the cover that I was previously in, it was fabric and had these beautiful embroidered flowers all over it. I am planning on doing some journaling in the backyard on the stone table. And I really didn't want to snag any of the embroidered flowers or spill anything on it or just get it dirty. This one feels a little more durable, and so I thought it would be a good choice for right now. So I've got some of my favorite supplies in one of my pouches. I've got some cute little watercolors from Rachel Beth. It's the Precious Stones collection. She has an Etsy shop, and I love her little watercolor palettes. I've got my coffee, and I am just going to set up my week, maybe catch up on a few of my daily pages. I've been really, really good at doing that this year. You can see my journal is getting really chunky, but I am loving every minute of it. A little update on my other ones. I've been pretty good at using my Hobonichi Weeks. I don't use it every single week. This is my work. It's more of a work planner to keep track of what I'm doing for the shop, what I'm posting online, stuff like that. And some weeks I just don't need it as much, but I'm okay with that. So I'm really enjoying my Hobonichi Weeks. But my Hobonichi 5-year journal is a little bit of a disappointment. I love it. I love the idea of it, but I am not really using it and I keep forgetting about it. I don't really enjoy it. I'm not sure even what to document sometimes because life is so quiet right now. So I like to put in more newsworthy things, what's going on in the world, what's going on in our city, but I'm not really enjoying it. And so that is a little bit of a disappointment. I try to catch up on it here and there, but I am missing days and I don't know. I didn't think I was that much of a control freak, but I really don't like the empty days in there and I need to figure out what to do with that. And while I'm here, I thought I would also share this spot here is where I keep any new yarn that comes. I got this in the mail this week. I purchased it just a week or so ago. It came so quickly, and when I get new, beautiful yarn, I just sit it in here to enjoy it for a little while. This is a beautiful colorway from Woolens and Nosh. It's a self-striping yarn. It is really gorgeous, and I saw a photo of this on the Woolens and Nosh Instagram account and saw that she was doing an update, and I missed the first time. But then I sort of caught, it was just perfect timing. I caught the next time she did an update on it. I jumped online and I snagged one. It is the April Showers colorway. I think it is so uplifting and beautiful. And this is a 75% superwash Corriedale and 25% nylon 3-ply yarn with a mini. So this is a sock set. And if I didn't have so many socks on my needles right now, I would cast this one on right away. I really love it. So I got this really cute sticker with it, which is going to go in my journal, and a really nice card from Michelle. So I love Michelle's yarns. If you haven't checked out the Woolens and Nosh shop, you totally should. She has gorgeous self-striping and all kinds of goodies in her shop. I have really been into makeup lately. There was a Sephora sale recently, and I did a clean out a little while ago of my older makeup, and I've been refreshing a little bit with a few purchases. And one of my favorites is this lipstick, which I did not get on Sephora because they do not sell it. But it is the Chanel Rouge Cocoa Flash, which is a really glossy kind of lipstick. And the color is Boy. It's one of their most popular ones. It's what I'm wearing today. And it is just so easy to wear because it's not a regular lipstick. It's more like a sheer kind of glossy lipstick. So that is one of my current favorite makeup items. I have a little update on my lap quilt. I have decided to sandwich it and quilt it myself. I was thinking about sending it out to be quilted, but we are on a lockdown and I just didn't really feel comfortable doing it over the phone and dropping it off and all of that stuff. So I recently pulled out my beautiful quilt. It's by Lo and Behold Stitchery. I think it's called the Faded Triangle Quilt, if I remember correctly. And so I've pinned it all together. I got it ready to do some quilting the other day, and then I realized I didn't really have the proper thread. So I placed an order with the Workroom in Toronto, which is a somewhat local store to me. I'm just outside of Toronto and they are deep in the heart of Toronto. So I should get that quite quickly and I will be able to do some quilting on it, hopefully next week. I've been going back and forth about what stitch I wanted to do. If I was having someone else do it with a machine, I really wanted to do something wavy and kind of a contrast to the pointy triangles. But because I'm doing it myself and I don't want it to take me forever, I'm going to do something quite simple. I would have liked to have done diagonal lines down the whole quilt, but because some of my corners are pretty great, those are really good, but other ones are not, I really didn't want to get into the stitching being all off. So you can see I don't really mind. Like this one is perfect, but a lot of the other ones are not. And I didn't want to do the diagonal stitching and it be sort of off of the triangles. So I think in the end, my decision is I'm going to be doing stitching just across. I'm just going to map out a good measurement and split it so that it looks beautiful and it's spaced out evenly. And it sort of inspired me to look into more quilts because as soon as I am close to completing a project and thinking about it, and I was researching the stitching, I sort of went down a whole rabbit hole of quilting inspiration, and I pulled out some of my books from my collection. While I was researching quilts and how to quilt mine and just getting lost in all of the inspiration out there, I decided to pull out one of my favorite books, which I really love, but I have not used. And I think it's just because quilting for me is, it's kind of like a weekend project, and most weekends I don't have time. So it's definitely a love of mine, and I was feeling really inspired. I have some gorgeous fat quarter sets that I've been saving for a rainy day. And I decided to pull out one of my favorite books that I got a couple of years ago. It's called Handmade Getaway, and it's by Jacqueline Sava Clark, who is the owner behind Soak Wool Wash, and Karen Valino, who is actually the owner of the Workroom downtown. So I really love this book. I love the concept behind it because there are such beautiful photographs in here, and it's kind of centered around having weekend getaways or just spending your time on the weekend or on a vacation or on your day off doing projects. And it can be a project on your own, or it can be with a group of other crafty people, which is really, really nice. So I pulled this out and I was flipping through it. It is a really gorgeous book. I'm lucky that I have a signed copy because I live in Toronto, and I think I purchased this at Paper Plus Cloth, which is right across the street from the Workroom, and it's actually in the location that the Workroom used to be in, and the owners are friends, and I just wanted to share a little peek through of this gorgeous book. This is exactly the kind of photography that I love. It reminds me of like our old school blogs that we used to follow of crafty people making beautiful things. And sometimes I just need to refresh for inspiration. It's like a refresh button, but not digitally. So it's a gorgeous book. There are a variety of projects in here. Lots of fun tips about being away for the weekend and bringing projects with you. And there's actually one that I think I might do after my quilt is finished. There's a couple. I have done pillowcases before, but this inspired me, and I'm thinking about maybe doing more pillowcases at some point. But the one that really caught my attention was the improv placemats. I think these are gorgeous, and they look like a fun small project. If you don't do a whole set of them, even if you did one or two at a time, I think they're really fun. And so I pulled this out, and I've kept it out because I'm just going to remind myself that these are the types of projects that make me happy. And instead of just always rushing through finishing knitting, I can easily do a little quilting project on the weekend. It's a lot. I find with sewing, there's a little bit more instant gratification. Knitting is a longer process, and when you sew something, you can really have a project started and completed in a day or two. So I really love that. And I've just reminded myself to use some of the beautiful books that I have. Let's get to the knitting. I've gathered all of my knitting projects that I am currently working on. They're not all of the whips in the house, but they are the ones that I am working on. I have a few more tucked away in that closet there, But I have a lot here, and I think it kind of explains why I've been in a little bit of a knitting slump for the last couple of months. I think I'm just really trying to push through existing projects, and I have so many of them that it's taking me some time, but that's okay. I think I'm doing pretty good with it. I pulled out this basket filled with project bags. These are some of my larger projects, and I did share them in my last video, so I'm not going to share them all again. I haven't really worked on any of them except for one. This is my polygon blanket from Tin Can Knits. I haven't really done much on that. My Pearl Soho gradient cowl, I haven't touched it. And I have done a couple more rows on my Vertices Unite shawl, which I'm loving, but I just haven't really been into the larger projects lately. So I have these all sitting in a basket that stays in my family room beside the couch. But I've noticed that most of what I've been knitting on lately are really small projects, particularly socks. And I don't always love knitting socks, but I'm really trying to push through and finish a few pairs that I'm really enjoying. But I sort of got to the heel section on all of them, which is slowing me down. So the first one I have shared before, but I love it so much. It is in this really cute bag from Rosebud and Penny. And it is a shorty sock using Legacy Fiber Arts Cozy Toes. And the color is Woodland Shenanigans. I've shown it a few times. I really love this sock. And I finally just pushed myself this week to get moving on the heel, because I tend to do that. I get to that heel, I put it aside, and everything distracts me, and it's really annoying. So I just told myself, be a big girl, get yourself working on that heel and finish it, because I really want these socks to wear. I think they are going to be super cute. So I did quite a bit of progress the other night on this heel flap, and I'm really loving it. The mini is this beautiful Chelsea Luxe yarns from an advent calendar, so I don't have the name of it. I'm doing this on DPNs. These are Knit Pro Zings, 2.25 millimeter, and I've got this cute gnome knitter progress keeper there. So this is the one that I'm really pushing myself on to get done. Once that heel flap is done and I turn the heel and work on the gusset, it will fly off the needles, I know. But sometimes I just don't feel like thinking about a heel like that. And so the other one that I've been working on is a magic heel sock. I'm using the Chelsea Luxe Coupe Collection yarn in the color Margaret. It's really beautiful. And this one I am doing magic loop. And I'm really making progress on this too, because I started doing the rib magic heel. It's much faster than the other heel. So it's giving me a really nice variety between my two projects. This one is magic loop. The other one is on DPNs. This is the magic heel, so it's really quick and I don't have to think about much. And the other one is a traditional heel flap. I love this sock. I love the way the color is striping and pooling. It's unexpected and beautiful. I'm really enjoying this. So these are the two I've been focusing on. Not a ton of progress, but a little bit. And I'm really enjoying those. The third sock, I've taken it out recently because it is spring and I haven't picked it up since last spring. And I love this colorway. It is a Cozy Knitter self-striping yarn. The color is Golden Hour, and it was in a kit that Christina and I did last spring. It was the Golden Hour kit. I love this yarn. And I made quite a bit of progress on my first sock last year, and I got to the stage that I need to put in the heel, and so I put it away. So once I get the other two done, this is next on the list. It's one of my favorite colorways. I love that this color has some speckling in it, and it is just so pretty and spring-like. I have the blue mini somewhere, I don't know where it is. And I'm anxious to get this one going too. And so if I can stay on track, I will have 3 beautiful pairs of socks, all for me. Sometimes people ask me if I knit for other people. I really don't do that very much because I don't finish a lot of stuff. And so I just haven't gotten to that stage yet. So that sock is in a new bag that I've designed and will be in the shop today, and I'm going to share that in a little bit. The other project I want to share with you today is the one, if I'm not working on socks, I've been working on this. This basket also stays in the family room. It's a scrappy project that I am loving. It is the Land of Sweets cowl by Helen Stewart of Curious Handmade. I started this project during Vlogmas or December. I'm on I'm on the 6th color. I just started the 6th color. And I really love how these colors are working together. This is using my Chelsea Luxe Advent Calendar from 2020. So this is what I was opening up each day in December. And I absolutely love the colors. I'm really enjoying this project. I really love looking down at my basket and seeing all of these beautiful yarns in there. I've got the other half of them somewhere up here, and when I finish these, I will put the rest of them in the basket. And I've really just been enjoying going through all of the colors from the Advent calendar again, reading the names of them. I just love them so much. And it was such a fun time that it's just letting me relive it all over again. So I'm really loving this project. This has been, like I said, if I'm not working on a sock, if I feel like doing more, this is what I've been picking up. But it's been a really busy week. So there hasn't been a ton of knitting time. I wanted to share a few of the knitting podcasts that I've been really loving this week, and just generally. I think maybe after a really long gray winter, even though it wasn't a harsh winter, it was kind of a strange one, just with everything going on in the world, being home more, not being able to socialize. We haven't been to any knitting festivals or shows. I miss my knitting friends and going to the local yarn shop. I've just felt a little bit blah about all of my knitting, and it might also be because I'm trying to get through a lot of my whips. So sometimes it's a little bit of a drag, but there have been a few people that have actually all posted new videos this week that have refreshed my love for knitting and really inspired me. I've mentioned them all before, and so you probably know them, but I really wanted to share again. The first one is Legacy Fiber Arts. They had a podcast this week. You probably already watch Chelsea and Sue. I absolutely adore them. Not only are they lovely, wonderful people that create gorgeous yarns and sell them, their podcasts just always remind me to get back to what I love about knitting. Just enjoy it. Just don't feel like you have to rush through it. Enjoy the process, and their projects always speak to me. They have different ones going on. So Sue usually has gorgeous sweaters and some socks, and Chelsea always has something that is fun and inspiring, whether it's a new shawl or an older project she's picked up. I just really love their knitting projects. They are so inspiring to me. Sue has been sharing some of her DK socks lately, and I am totally here for it. I just ordered some of their DK weight yarn. I cannot wait to work on a pair or two of those this summer. I think they will be fun, quick knits, and just sort of shake things up a bit from the usual fingering weight socks. I've been loving them. I've also really been enjoying my friend Cherie's podcast. It's called the Ollie and Bella podcast. I know I've shared her before. She had another video this week, and I just love when she posts a new podcast. They're usually a little bit long, which I really enjoy. She has so many beautiful projects, a lot of scrappy projects, a lot of blankets. And even though I'm not great at keeping up with those, she just reminds me that if I really want to do those projects, just do them. Just enjoy the process. You don't have to rush. You don't have to knit a million sweaters, and you don't have to get caught up in everything that's online. I just really love her knitting. I really enjoy everything that she works on. And I adore her too, so. And the last one is from my friend Amanda from Sweet Skein of Mine. She's also a very talented hand dyer of yarn. And she just posted a video yesterday. I watched it last night. Amanda is really an incredible knitter. You sometimes don't realize it because she is so just natural and humble. But every time she posts a video, I am amazed at how many sweaters she's knit, how much progress she's made on blankets. She's absolutely something else. She is wonderful. I really enjoy seeing what her projects are. I love all of the patterns that she chooses, and this particular episode, and actually I should just say that she also broke her wrist over the winter and had a cast and then still knit. So she's kind of amazing like that. But this podcast that I watched last night was so good. She had me pausing every few minutes to check on a pattern and purchase it, print it, find yarn, just get really excited about some dream knitting. And so trying not to cast on too much yet, but she's got me thinking about all of the things. I always want to knit the sweaters that she's made. They are really to my taste. But last night, she had quite a few sock projects, and she got me thinking about the loose socks by Sheena McNeely. She was working on a pair of those. So they are loose and bunchy in the leg, and then they just kind of taper off into a regular sock. I thought, how fun would these be to wear around the house or with some cute little boots? And so I went searching. Well, first I bought the pattern, and then I went searching in my stash, and I think they would require more than one skein of yarn if you want to make them really long and slouchy. And so I found this beautiful yarn from my friend Annie, and I had 2 skeins of it. I think this is the Monkland base, which is 85% superwash merino, 15% nylon, and the color is Mad Max. It's absolutely gorgeous. This is from Annie Perrin, and I will link her below. She has gorgeous yarns. I think this would be a perfect pair of loose, slouchy socks. But that will be for another day. That's dream knitting right now. But Amanda also got me thinking about another blanket. And I know I've said that I'm not really a blanket knitter. I ripped out my Cozy Memories blanket. I've had dreams of knitting all kinds of other blankets, but they fizzle out. I am liking the polygon blanket, but to me, because it's piece by piece, that to me is sort of like a long-term project. I'm just going to work on those little polygons here and there and not really worry about the actual blanket. Probably for, like, I think that project will be on the needles for me for a couple of years. But when Amanda showed her Cozy Comfort Throw, which is a pattern by Molly from a Homespun House, who I also adore, I'm sharing all of the beautiful people, hand dyers and makers today. She showed her Cozy Comfort blanket or throw. It was gorgeous, and it's all garter stitch. It just had a beautiful effect, and I thought maybe, just maybe, I could cast on one, because I do have some beautiful advent calendars from the year before this past Christmas, and I really want to try doing this. I don't really have anything to lose. I have the yarn. I even have some bare yarn. I might need to get some more because basically you need 5 skeins of a really neutral yarn. It could be bare, it could be something you have in your stash. And you hold it together with your minis and it makes this beautiful, beautiful blanket. It's kind of hard to see here because I've printed it in black and white, but I'm really excited. I have this bag filled with gorgeous mini sets. I have this set from Dragon Horde yarn. I have some dandelion and dogwood minis. And I have most of what is left in here, I believe, is all Legacy Fiber Arts. They're so beautiful. So I have all of these sets that I got when I was at the Needles Up event. These are all older minis, they're beautiful. And I have some Stress Knits yarn minis that I got also during Vlogmas. This was, I think, the 7-day kit. Really pretty. And then, oh my gosh, I have Hue Loco minis. And lots more minis from, oh, I even have a homespun house in here. I have a lot of good ones. And so they've been accumulating in this bag. And I think this is what I'm going to do with them. I'm kind of excited about it. I'm just going to look for a needle. I'm going to start winding up some minis when I have time, and I'm going to cast that on. I'm also going to approach it with no pressure, there's no rush, and I think it will be just one of those really nice long-term projects that I keep on the needles and I can pick up in and out of whatever else is going on and whatever other projects are piquing my interest. So I'm very excited about my dream knitting right now. And I think the only other thing I have to share today are some new bags that I have. I'm going to pull them out and share them because I will be doing a shop update later today. It is Sunday today, April 25th, and I will be updating my shop at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time today. These are the new small project bags that are making their way into my shop later today. I've had a lot of fun with these. I am so excited about them. They are called the bunny bags, and that is because the tie top kind of looks like bunny ears. And if you see it untied, you can kind of see what I'm talking about. What I love about these project bags is that there is no hardware at all or fasteners. There's no zipper, no snaps or hooks or magnets, no drawstring or anything like that. It is just a really sleek and modern design. Ever since I made a bento bag for some of my knitting projects a while ago, I've been very inspired by the idea of it. And I just love that when you have a really large bag, like I usually do, or a large basket of projects, I love that you can just throw in other bags and grab them really easily. So I am absolutely loving these. I have a couple of options that will be available today. The suede is new to my shop, but I'm really excited about it. It is beautiful. I have 3 colors of the suede that I will show you, and I have a few leather colors. Most of the colors that I offer all of the other bags and pouches in will be in this bag, except for the sapphire blue and the dark raspberry color, and that's because the leather is a little bit too thick for this. And it didn't really work very well with this style. So I will share all of those colors that will be in the shop. So the suede and the leather will be in the shop today. And in a little bit, I will have some of this really fun stripe canvas and also my traditional denim. So I'm working on getting those into the shop soon, hopefully next week, but we will see. And the fabric ones have this cute little leather patch on it. And I wanted to show you how much I could fit in here so that you'd have a little bit of a size reference. So the front has the scissors logo on it. The back has some top stitching, which is really pretty. And there are no other seams around the body of the bag. And the bottom also has a panel so that it sits really nicely. It won't roll around on you, and you can use it to knit out of kind of like a bucket. So it's great, even if you have this in another bag for your yarn management. And even though it's quite small and compact, I feel like you can fit quite a bit of yarn in here. I've been playing around with what I can fit. And in here I have 2 full sock sets from Chelsea Luxe. They're really beautiful and they fit really well in here. Cakes fit really well in here too. At least 2 fit comfortably, but I think you could fit more. Just to give you an idea of the one that I have been using, here is my sock set, and there's so much room. So I found my mini, got my mini and my cake of yarn and 1 sock. And there's so much more room in here. You could totally fit 2 sock projects in here, I think, depending on how much yarn you have or how many colors, but it is really quite roomy. So I'm super excited about it. I am just loving it. I want one in every color, but for now I have the pink. And I wanted to share some of the other colors that will be in the shop. But I did also want to mention that most of the leather that I use has a beautiful patina to it. And over time, it gets more and more beautiful. Some of them mark a little bit more easier than others. It's one of the things I love about leather. But I did want to make note of the fact that because you are tying these, they are just going to get softer and floppier over time. The handle part or the ties will probably get wrinkled. And if you know and love leather, you would expect that. But I just wanted to make note of it in case you do get one and you're wondering why it's kind of getting floppier and softer. But that's really the beauty of leather, and is just part of having a really beautiful leather bag. These are the colors that will be in the shop today. For the suede version, I have 3 really pretty colors. The first is raspberry, which is a really nice pink, this lime green, and this really gorgeous orange. They remind me of sorbet. So those are the 3 suede versions or options. And then for leather, I have my usual brown, black, dove gray, mustard, green, and rose pink. So those will all be in the shop later today. I've also restocked some of my cylinder pouches. I've got a couple more crossbody bags, and I even have a few of the small tote bags from the last update I did. So I've got some raspberry, some dark brown, and some sapphire blue. And these are the 2 colors that will not be in the bunny bags, and that's because they're a little bit thicker and they have a pebbly texture, which I really, really love, but they don't really work in this bunny bag. I am going to wrap up this video because I have a lot of work to do to get ready for my shop update later today, and a few things to get organized for the week. So I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time.